How you guys doing? That was like a 2 out of 10. This is the Global Summit. How you guys doing? Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That is so good. Hey, just to clear up any confusion, in case you guys are wondering, for most of the Americans, at least here, I just want you to know that I am not Uncle Mitchell from Modern Family. I am his doppelganger, and I will sign autographs for him. So I'm going to talk to you about audience engagement. I was really excited when Sally emailed me and said, hey, would you like to speak on this? And we've been doing Creative Mornings in Atlanta for almost 3 years. Seems like an eternity. And I've learned 2 lessons that I'm going to tell you really quick about engaging the audience. First is you have to have some sort of, if I can turn this up, inspirational music. Can we crank that up? Sound man, get it up. Inspirational music works. And flame transitions. Lots of flame transitions. Just soak it in. Oh, so good. Part of my routine was going to be dancing, but they took all my material. And I decided to leave my shirt on this time because no one would win if that happened. So why are we talking about engaging the audience? What's really important about that? So the problem is that most events, at least a lot of events I've been to, you kind of feel like the energy in the room is like this. It's maybe empty, there's no background music, and you generally feel like people are disconnected. This is what we do not want. What we do want, though, if we think about the goal for all of our events, the goal of audience engagement is about putting out the right vibes, you know? It's about setting the energy in the room the right way. And there's lots of different ways to do that, but specifically, I want to talk to you about the audience perspective from when you're on stage. So, there's getting the energy in the room right comes from lots of different ways of making sure they park right, they find the event, they get good tickets, they come in, there's coffee, they hang out, they have a good time. But when you're on stage, you have an opportunity to really be a mirror for the energy in the room. So as the MC, the organizer, however you are on stage really will set the tone for the audience that's out there. So if you're pretty monotone and quiet and talking like, welcome to Creative Mornings, that's probably what the room will feel like. But if you show a little enthusiasm and energy, that's going to be reflected out there in the crowd. So, just to recap, we don't want the bad vibes. Those are no good. We want the good vibes. This is important. We're trying to set the stage for our speaker. And I think how this all connects into one bigger vision is that the more we set up the speaker to have a really good talk, the more our audience loves our events, the more we continue to spread and dominate and take over the world until we have world domination. Yes. Yes. This is the vision, people. I was really surprised that this isn't a multi-level marketing conference also. And I do plan to share some timeshare information if anyone is interested after this. So I want to play a little game with you guys to kind of talk about, there are a lot of different things that I like to call sneaky energy killers, little guys that run around and really ruin an event. So we're going to play a little game. You guys ready for some audience participation? Good? Okay. So what I want to do, everyone stand up out of their seats. We're going to play a last man or group standing kind of event. So I'm going to read some things off, and if this has ever happened to you, stay standing, okay? If it hasn't happened to you, go ahead and have a seat. So we're looking for the the chapter that has gone through the most terrible energy killers, okay? Makes sense? Everyone good? All right. So if you've ever had a microphone go bad during a talk, stay standing. If you've ever had a mic go down, this has probably happened to everyone. The worst. Okay, good. I'm glad no one's knocked out. If your speaker ever goes way over time, stay standing. Everybody is still standing. Wait, so what chapter sat down over there?
Yeah, we have a young chapter.
Young chapter. Ah. I was about to say. Oh, time Nazis. Okay. Next year you can lead a session on like how to maintain the speaker. Okay, if you've ever had coffee run out, no more coffee. Stay standing. Oh, stay standing. Yeah, if you ever had it run out, stay standing. Okay, we heard about the almost no-show coffee. The number one most important thing in an event is the coffee. If you've ever had a projector break during a talk and go down, stay standing. Or if you've ever had a 50-inch plasma like John from LA, stay standing. Whoa, that took out a lot of folks. Okay. All right. If you've ever had a typo in your icebreaker tag, stay standing. Have you done the typo? Not in the, wait, I don't want to knock everyone out. Stand back up. If you were just up. Okay, everyone is very good with their grammar and double checking. Atlanta would not have passed that test. Okay, if you've ever had an audience member answer their phone during a talk, stay standing. These are too hard. Have you had that happen? Yes, we have our winner, ladies and gentlemen. Renee, come up on stage. Come here. I would like to present the first ever Monster Energy drink sponsored #1 most energy killer award to your name? Renee, what chapter are you with?
Aarhus.
Say that?
Aarhus, it's Danish. We mangle all our words.
That's right. All right. I actually had to ask him earlier, I'm so sorry, I'm so naive. What country is that in? And he told me, in Denmark. Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay. So let's talk about some practical applications for how to really engage with your audience. Because I really do want you guys to be able to take away, and like many people said, I don't have the answers, but I do have a lot of events that have gone wrong that I've learned from. So one thing that I do think is important is that audience engagement is not all Skittles and rainbows and donuts. You know, it is also about casting a bigger vision. So every event we have, I will always say at the very beginning that we had this vision to gather the creative community in Atlanta to inspire all of us towards greater things, because I believe that when a city's creative class rises, the whole city is better for that. And people want purpose. You know, people want to be a part of something that's bigger than just a lecture series. We also do a lot of theme-driven games and contests and shenanigans. I secretly want to be a game show host, so I embrace this. And we use the different themes to brainstorm different activities we can do with the goal of just getting the energy right in the room. So, for instance, for Backwards, we asked if anyone could do the moonwalk, brought him up on stage, and there was someone that did the moonwalk, and he was amazing. For food, we did a watermelon eating contest. People love contests. If you put them against each other, it gets brutal. And you like give away a t-shirt, and people will do anything for a t-shirt. For Connect, we had this like battle royale of Connect 4, and except for I put it together right before the talk, and I forgot to put the bracket in the bottom, so the coins just went straight through. So that's my face of shame right there. I was like, oh. But it was okay, because the goal is to make people laugh, and we played it off, and everyone laughed at me, and it was fine and really fun. And I think that's a huge way to engage the audience. Just get them to laugh. You know, that's the universal language for all of us. And it brings so much joy in the morning. During the sex theme, we played Battle of the Sexes, and we had males versus females answer questions. And some of the questions were hilarious. The girls dominated the guys. And it was a good lesson for us to get people on stage. And sometimes make fun of them if you can. That's the best way to kind of get the audience going. So, you know, it kind of breaks down the walls of, you know, there's nothing special about being up here on stage and speaking. And the more you can get people up and kind of engage, it feels like a community event that you would have at your house or something. That's kind of the goal. So we also like to play different contests and different games. Tina and the rest of the crew were actually at this event in Atlanta. And I mentioned I like to think I'm a game show host. We actually made this slide. What's in the box? So we actually did that little soundtrack, and it was really fun. And we invited people up on stage. We had like Easter eggs taped underneath the chairs, and they got a number. And people won some amazing things. We had a sponsor partner donate an iPad. It was amazing, and it was great. It was a win-win for him. But then this poor gentleman, he got a time capsule that had old Twinkies in it. So, we just made that, and it's not always about like fancy prizes or whatever, but it is a good opportunity to do something creative and fun and make people laugh. For bravery, I asked the audience who's really terrified of public speaking. One semi-naive lady raised her hand. And I said, "Oh, good. Can you come up here?" And she was like, "Oh, no." But the crowd coaxed her into it. She came up, and I handed her index cards, and she did the announcements for me. But within the index cards were like some jokes. And so one time she was like, "Thanks, MailChimp, for this. And Blake is really smart and really funny." And then she did normal things. And then one time she said, "For a good time, call Jonathan Lawrence," and put this slide up. And he's one of our team members here in the back. And it was really funny. He got no dates out of that, but I was trying to help him out. This is another thing that we did, the money machine. Again, I know. Just Google 70s game show, and you find all kinds of music. So the theme was money, obviously, and we got a little phone booth. Anyone ever remember this? Shoe Carnival, where I grew up, used to do this. And I love it. You get in the phone booth, and you try to catch money. So we just got people that volunteered, and it was bananas. And it really wasn't that expensive. There was like $20 in there, and they only got like 4. People that won at first were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I won." And they came out with like pennies. It was great. There weren't pennies in there. That would have hurt pretty bad. For fail, recently, we did the similar game that we just did, like a stand-up, sit-down kind of game, and we asked questions to see who the biggest failure in the room was. It was this guy. He failed his driving test twice. It got a little scary because there was like 2 people were dueling, and I couldn't knock them out. So I was like, if you failed your driving test, they both had failed it. If you failed it twice, and then one girl sat down like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you." But the goal of all of this is to get rid of the bad vibes, to get rid of the stale, awkward room, to get people kind of excited, engaged, and setting the speaker up with good energy in the room. And I think it helps when you lead with the vision, when you have different shenanigans that you do, make people laugh, get people on stage. And then ultimately, that's going to help us all dominate the world. Let's dominate the world. Thank you.